Namaskar. Welcome back to the example number 11 for the event Health and Longevity. In this example, we had a detailed discussion on a male chart who got murdered by his friend. In the previous video, we had a detailed discussion with the help of the EPS tables on this matter. It is always recommended to study these EPS tables because that we can find the grouping of houses from the source, effect, and result combined level study, role of the source, and what the source is going to combine with the star level. Such combined level study is always recommended. For that, EPS table is the best one, is the master table. And role of the support planet is also important, that we can find in the extended EPS table also. But we are going to study the same example with the help of the PILT table. Though PILT table, in that we cannot do the such extensive study, all the significations of rulers and also supports like what we do in the EPS table. But in the PILT table, we can find the unfavorable planets which are playing a role or which are influencing the destiny and dasa periods, and also which are the planets can cause trouble to the lagna and also can give trouble to the longevity. Those things and all by way of PILT table, finding the role of the unfavorable key planets in their rulers and also rulers link, we can find with the PILT table. So it can be used as a supportive table, but which planet is strongly forming such grouping, we can do only with the EPS table. In the PILT table also, we have got the option. We can open that EPS table there itself in the PILT table and study the grouping of the planet level wise also we can do it. Anyway, let us study how these unfavorable key planets of the that longevity, it is influencing the destiny and also dasa periods for the weak longevity. Event 11, weak longevity, murdered by friend. So we are going to study this example chart with the help of the PILT table. This is the birth chart of that male native who got murdered by his friend. Now let us examine this chart with the help of that PILT table. Now we are on the PILT page. Now let us keep open the self-significators. Always is recommended to keep open the self-significators table. And in the self-significator table, in the previous video where we studied with the help of that EPS table, I think I forgot to give the color to the Rahu. It was black color only. But you look at the grouping of the Rahu, 5, 3, 11, and 1, 5, it is good to the Lagna. But 6 and 12 is not good to the Lagna, because Lagna and 6 and 12, it is talking about some unfavorable significations to the Lagna. 1, 6, 12 is talking about trouble to the Lagna and dispute to the Lagna, right? So the Lagna 1, 6, 12 is not good. So that too Rahu. And Rahu represents Mars is 5th lord is fine, but 12th lord. So Mars is 12th lord and occupying 3 and 4 and 7th star lord. This is also not good. It is a mixed significator. So that is the reason it has been given pink shade. And you look at that other unfavorable planets, you can see all planets are having either pink or red only. No blue, no green. It itself is indicating that that overall that lagnas, that natives destiny is not very strong for the longevity, because we have chosen the event longevity. And you can see that Saturn is red, 2, 3, 11, and 8 and 12. So 3, 11 is fine, but second lord, third lord occupying 11th house is fine, but 8 and 12 star lord, it is moksha trigon. So it is indicating some weakness. Second lord and 8 and 12, it is not good. Maraga lord and 8 and 12 star lord, it is indicating some weakness. And Mercury is the strong unfavorable planet for the longevity, because 7, 10, 2, and 4, no favorable grouping, or it is talking about Maraga. That too for this Lagna, Ubaya Lagna, Lagna Lord is Jupiter. So Mercury is the Badaga Lord also, Maraga Lord also. It is talking about the 7th house. As I was saying that this native was murdered by his friend. So it is talking about the opponent. So seventh house is even in case of what do you call suicide, Lagna role, third role connected to the 8th house, 6, 8, 12 grouping and Maraga Badaga houses, that will indicate that Lagna will take the decision. And involvement of the moon and third house connected to 8 and 12 all are important. Whereas here somebody is giving trouble to the Lagna. Lagna should have that 8 and 12, 6, 8, 12 grouping, but involvement of the 7th house and Badaga Lord, it is going to give trouble to the Lagna. It is indicating trouble by the others. So that Mercury is the strong, unfavorable key planet, death-causing planet. And Moon, 8th occupant. Sorry, 8th Lord. 8th Lord means that planet is talking about the longevity. And occupying second house is Maraga. 2610 is talking, 2610 is in general is for the professional prospect, but 2610 also not, it is supported to the second house. And 2-7 cuspal sublord. It is not good. 8th Lord and 2 and 7 cuspal sublord. 9 and 11 is fine. But 2 and 7 cuspal sublord Maraga and 8 and 2 and 2 and 7, it is not good for the 8th house matters. 8th house moving towards this one, it's not good. So Mercury is strongly unfavorable and comes Moon, then Saturn, and the Rahu is 1, 6, 12 grouping. All are having some mixed significations. So we have to keep these planets because trouble giving houses to the Lagna 6 and 12 and the death causing planet 8, 2 and 2 and 7, and importantly Mercury is death causing planet and trouble giving houses to the Lagna 8 and 12 significator, that Saturn, the two Marga Lord. So now we have to see which are the planets are having these unfavorable key planets in their rulers. That we have to keep it in mind. Now let us choose EPS colors and KP check all. Now let us check the Lagna sublord. Lagna sublord is Rahu. Rahu Lagna sublord. Lagna sublord is Rahu itself is 6 and 12, right? So that is 6 and 12 significator. And Saturn is present. Saturn is 2 and 8 and 12 significator. And Sun, star lord. Sun is 9th lord. It's fine. But occupying second house, but having got Saturn and Mercury, both unfavorable. Death-causing planets are playing at the star level. And 12 level and sub-level, Mars. Mars is 12th lord representing Rahu itself, having got this Saturn in its support. So this is not good. Last level planet is death causing planet is Mercury. So Lagna Lord 6 and 12 sublord itself in the star and sub of these some weak planet supported by the strong unfavorable planet in the supports. And 8th sublord planet is Venus. That is the planet which is talking about the destiny of the longevity in the star of Mercury itself. So that is strongly indicating no favorable. Supported by Saturn, further supported by Mars. Sublevel is Ketu is talking about favorable, but representing Venus. Venus is a mixed significators. When this is already reduced up to the 12 level, this is not going to be strongly favorable, right? It is indicating some weakness to the longevity. It is indicating weak longevity. Now, which dasa that native during which period he got the problem? Now he's running Jupiter dasa. Previously, he was running Rahu dasa itself. You remember in the previous examples also, whenever I was telling about the accident or unnatural death or suicide, everywhere Rahu role is coming because Rahu is the planet having got trouble living houses to the Lagna. And it is playing role as the destiny planet also. It is strongly indicating unnatural death. So that we have to keep it in mind. Whenever Rahu is playing role, we have to be careful. But it is having the unfavorable grouping only, it will give trouble. Now, whenever Rahu is playing, we cannot say it is going to give trouble. Rahu, it is as unfavorable significator. Definitely, that its role, it is the Dasala itself is playing. During that period, definitely it will execute the things. During Rahu, you can see unfavorable key planet, Rahu, Saturn, Mercury is a death-causing planet. All are playing role and Mars representing Rahu, all are playing. So during Rahu period, which Buddhi that native would have got the, involved into the argument or dispute and can lead to death. Death causing key planet is which are the planet? Mercury strongly, and comes Saturn, and trouble giving to the Lagna, that is Rahu, because 6 and 12. And you can see which are the planets are having the Mercury in the star level. Venus is having Mercury in the star level, that is 8th sublord. But sub-level planet is Ketu. It is not strongly indicating supportive for the death, right? It is indicating some weakness, but star level is fine, but sub-level is not strongly weak. And so that Venus period in Ragudasa, Venus is not going to be strongly unfavorable. I forgot, Ragudasa, Jupiter is not having Mercury in the star level, and Saturn itself is not having. And Mercury star level is Mars. 2A level is Mercury, that is fine. But star level Mars is talking about 512. It is a mixed significator, because though it is 12th Lord, Mars is 5th Lord and occupying 3rd house also, and sublevel is Venus. Venus is having favorable grouping. So that way, Mercury will not give trouble. So the planet Buddhi Lord should have the Mercury in the star level and further supported by the unfavorable sublord also. In that case, this is not going to be favorable for the death. Mercury is not playing role. Here also Mercury is not playing role, but Mars, you can see in the Dasa Lord, Mars, Mercury playing strongly. That Mars, Mercury is playing. And 12 level also Mars. Sub-level also Mercury. So Mercury, unfavorable key planet, death-causing key planet of the Dasa Lord, is playing role at the star level and sub-level, and other levels are ruled by Mars, that is 12th Lord. Here, Mars at the star level is different. Mars at the source level is different. Source is talking about 5 and 12, both favorable and unfavorable, represented by Rahu, but star level is weak. Sub-level also supporting for the death. So during that Mars period, that is Rahu Dasa, Mars Buddhi will give death to the Lagna by way of argument or way of dispute, because Mars is playing and representing Rahu Dasa Lord. In the Mars, which is the other planet can give the death. What are the other death-causing planet? Mercury, Saturn, in addition to that, Moon. Moon is 8th occupant, 2 and 2, 7 cuspal sublord. So that is missing here in this. So in that Mars period, in the Moon Antra, Moon in own star and 12 level, and Saturn also in supports. Saturn is another death-causing planet, all playing. And sub-level planet is Jupiter, that Lagna Lord, 4th Lord, it is playing role. This itself is strong enough to complete the chain. So Rahu Dasa, Mars Buddhi, and Moon Antra, the native, had a fight with the colleague in the, in the politics, and he was murdered by the opponent, because Moon is occupying 8th house. It is 8th Lord occupying 2nd house. This grouping is not good. That Buddhi Lord already has given green signal for the death by the star level Mercury opponent person, and that during this Buddhi, when Moon, that planet 8th Lord itself is connected to the unfavorable 2 and 7 cuspal sublord, it is strongly indicating trouble or death or trouble to the longevity. So during this Moon, that native actually got murdered by the opponent. So by way of these key planets, we can identify which are the planets are unfavorable, trouble giving to a planet to the Lagna, this Rahu and Mars, and trouble. Mars is not completely unfavorable, but to the Rahu only unfavorable. And importantly, Saturn is unfavorable to the Lagna, and that strong other unfavorable key planet to the death-causing planet is Mercury. That Mercury role is important and Moon role is important. Those things and all we checked, we could identify. Rahu, Mars, Moon are strongly having got unfavorable key planet in the rulers. Other planets are also having the planet, but they are not forming the grouping. That we can easily find with the help of the EPS table study. That's what I was telling that. Here in the PILT table, we could see Mercury is is the star lord for the 8th sublord Venus. It is reducing that longevity, and Rahu also influenced by the Mercury. All these things we studied. So in that planet, Rahu Dasa itself is playing. Mars booked in the star and sub of death-causing planet Mercury is ready to give the death on account of the problem, right? Or the dispute and fights. So in that other unfavorable key planet, which is completing the chain, Moon is given the event. So that way we can easily we can relate. But by way of studying the EPS table, we can find the grouping easily than in the PILT table. I think we're able to understand. We'll meet in the next video. Good luck.